The importance of focusing on copyright when creating student-facing content in online courses. So with Project 2 in 614, you have to create a lot of student-facing content. And in doing that, we need to talk about a couple things concerning copyright when you're building that content. So in general, most of the time, the only time you're able to go out and copy a resource and use it directly in your course is when it's an open educational resource, and even those are licensed differently. To talk about this, I want to back up and pretend we're in a face-to-face classroom. Face-to-face teachers have been going and Xeroxing or making copies of worksheets and papers and documents for years and passing it out to students without regard to any copyright. In an online course, when we're on the internet, that game changes because all the content can be scanned and compared against everything across the web, whether it's behind a login or not. And so I want to just go into a few details here on that concept based on my current position in which I work and the experience that we've had over the past 2 to 3 years. So in basic, we had a teacher who was developing a course for us, went out to the web, copied a bunch of stuff, put it in the course, didn't cite it, basically made it look like it was her own. We went on about our business, and a parent happened to be scanning through the content and found that a lot of it was copied directly from the internet. We ended up in a lawsuit that took 2 years to settle, and it's still not over yet. The litigation and the lawsuit is over, but as a result, it triggered a curriculum audit through the state, and that's still going on. It started last November, December, was supposed to end by May. However, we're still getting questions from the auditor, and we have another meeting with them next week. So they're doing a deep dive into all of this that I'm about to show you. They have paid a company to scan our content to see which courses have this issue. And so our goal is to make sure that you understand the importance and the impact of this. So I'm just going to show you a couple examples. We use a tool called Unicheck now. And any courses that we build our own courses, no textbooks. We have to scan all of that content that comes in, just like your projects when you submit them in 614, go through Turnitin. Unicheck is the same thing. It scans your submission against everything on the internet. And so I want to use an example from our AP Government course that we started building in 2017, 2018. And so I want to go into it for a minute. And I want to show you an example of a project. So I'm going to go in Module 1, Module 5, and I'm just going to bring the document up. And it shows the scan results that it's a 92% match. And so what that means is basically the person who developed this piece just went out. If I scroll down through, you can see all the highlights. Everything in yellow was copied directly from internet resources. And so they essentially just basically copied the whole entire project from the internet and stuck it in and claimed it as their own. Okay? So the way that we work is we develop one master course and we make multiple copies. So this course may have 70 sections. If we allow that to go through, that's 70 copyright violations. Not one, but 70, because we've duplicated it multiple times. So I'm going to go back to a different check just to show you a better example of what things look like the way they're supposed to be, because there are times, aside from open educational resources, that you can use content from the web. So I want to go into Module 8, and I believe it is the Take 2 assessment at the very top. And so it does come up a 42.5% match, which is very high. But notice as I go to the questions, underneath there's now a citation that says that it comes from AP College Board released content. AP College Board says that we can use the content in this way because it's in the LMS and it's behind a login. And so in our AP courses, we recommend that our teachers do that because those questions are already vetted. So if you are using a resource like that that says you have permission to do that, you can put those in your student-facing content but you'll need a citation to go along with it. Now, this course citation is not in full APA format. Yours would need to be, but you cite that content. You don't need one at the bottom of every question. If all 10 questions were pulled from a resource where you have permission, you would put that citation at the bottom. And so in general, we look for a percentage that's less than 20. This one, of course, is over that, but we have permission to use these questions and we have the citation so we know where they came from. So keep this in mind when you're creating your student-facing content for Project 2.